So let me show the people the man, the legend. Bam, Micah Terrill. Bam. And he's sporting the hot box too, the hot box boxing and fitness.
The hot box boxing and fitness. Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. Why don't we just start off with that? Just because he's wearing it, let's rep it a little bit.
Absolutely.
All right, tell us about how that started. How you got into your own gym like that.
I mean, a lot of people know I am a believer in Christ. So for me, it was more just like God's doing in my time. So basically, I mean, I worked for another gym, my old team, Conquest BJJ, which is out of Millersville. One of the best BJJ programs around. So I was with them for a better part of a decade, and it was just time for me to step out and do my own thing, for to better my family, my life, my son, kids and everything. And I was looking at a different area where I'm at now, and it just wasn't God's plan. Every time I forced something and I wanted it my way, it wasn't there. And out of nowhere, it literally just fell into my lap. And, I can't be more grateful. And we're, expanding averaging about 3 to 6 new clients a week.
Wow.
Literally. I mean, yeah. So, I mean, and those are for full 1 to 2 year terms. So we're looking good.
And what are you doing? I mean, I like the business side of things too. What are you doing to get that kind of growth? Is it just word of mouth, or are there other things you're doing?
Right now it's just word of mouth. I'm not the most technically savvy guy. I'm a fighter. For the love of God, I get punched in my face for a living, right? So everything's just word of mouth, and it's my clientele and stuff that I built up over the past, 8 years, 6, 7, 8 and 10 years, working with my other gyms and then teaching elsewhere. And it's my programming, and it's just, it speaks for itself. I was going to run some challenges, and we ended up taking it down because, pretty much everybody that just steps in the gym takes one class, they end up signing up.
Yeah, all right.
Why do you think that is?
We just got a good product. Proof is in its pudding, and our coaching staff is, ridiculous. Like, all those guys have been with me for a few years, and then they're all fighters. Fight Fit training system. Fight Fit was based off me having fighters,
Right.
teach the condition. I put you guys through the rigorous cardio for a fight minus the contact, So, it was pretty simple. I was like, all right, what are my 3 best guys? And I found them, and they're killing it.
And talk about your coaches. Who do you have on staff for each of the programs if they're specialized in anything?
Oh, they are. So my boxing program is headed up by Rob Watley.
Okay.
I think you guys are familiar with him.
Absolutely.
Super legit.
Yeah,
Super legit.
Yeah.
He does that. So right now we're just doing it 3 days a week, just testing the waters, and
Okay.
it's growing pretty well. My other 2 coaches under me, as far as my 3 coaches, are Brandon. He's one of my he's my head personal trainer. He's just killing the game. Everybody he brings in signs up. People that are already there signing up,
Yeah.
And then Zach, he's a young gun. I've trained him since he was about 11, 12 years old.
Really?
And, now he's 20, going on 21, and he's freaking jacked.
Okay.
So he's big, and I love it. He knows the fight game. He's real personable. He's not real scared of anybody, and that's the biggest key. You gotta mess with people. You know what I mean? Like, they just I don't really have a filter. I will filter a little bit today on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. It depends. On, some of the fans would be like, Micah, turn it up. What are you doing?
They're like, what the? No, but and then so
Mike is gonna have us viral here in the next 10 minutes.
Oh,
that's
boy.
what my dad said. He goes, I posted a picture. He said, you didn't put that online, did you? I said, yeah. I said, yeah. What's wrong with that? He said, man, come on, man. I ain't trying to go viral. And I was like, he cracks me up. But and then so anyway, Zach, my young gun, he's killing the game. I literally couldn't ask for anybody better. And then also Dave Pope.
Okay.
Former pro fighter. He's
Yes.
still dabbles in the training, but he's killing the game as well. And it, we're just there. We're a family having fun. I don't have any drama in my gym.
Yep.
If there's drama, you can get the F out. Other than that, we're just there to work out, push each other, make people better.
That's so important because, like, back in the day, at least in my experience, you kind of expected that drama. You expected the quote unquote alpha males to come out and really make you feel uncomfortable, which actually hurts the bottom line for a lot of gyms because most gyms don't make money on their fight teams. They make money on moms coming in, kids coming in, that type of thing.
Exactly what
The
it
training
is.
clientele, the ones that want to train and want to learn technique and don't necessarily need to compete, to compete, but the people that want to be in that world, and that's important.
Yeah, it makes nuts to feel. Whether they feel empowered, whether they feel cooler for the kids, whether it helps them, get the confidence they need. Whether it's at school and and I'm just trying to empower everybody. Why not? So we don't live in a great world today. So.
Yeah, that's right.
The more positive feedback and the positive stuff we can give,
That's an awesome message.
That's important. That's so important, especially with kids today. I mean, this whole the way kids are being raised today is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're being raised to be wimps and you know, like and being told that's okay, and it's like it's not okay in real life. It's just not okay. You can't create what do you call it, rubber rooms everywhere.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. They're literally, our kids are being grooved to fail. And I can't stand it. I'm not an advocate for it.
That's a perfect way to say that, by the way.
You got to tread lightly, unfortunately, because like, you know, all the lawsuits and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. I mean, back then, you know, you could say one thing and you'd have to worry about it. Now you got to worry about losing your business. You know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I had to go from posting a lot of political views on my Facebook to, like, you know, kind of taking it down a little bit. And I mean, it's fine. I'm okay with it. I can still have my core beliefs, and, you know, and then run a successful business.
And that's more important anyway, because all these people using social media as their platform, as their megaphone, it doesn't actually do anything except for just create more strife. Whereas if you create a business where you're creating, you know, like creating those type, you know, giving people what they actually need, giving people the information that they need to become successful human beings, it's way better than just saying, this is what I think on social media. Nobody cares. They're going to just, like, you know, either they're going to get mad at you, they're going to agree with you, or they're just not going to even pay attention to you.
Yep. Yeah. If I need to lose friends, so I'm at my limit, the 5,000, so I can't really accept anymore. But all I got to do is post one political post, and I'm freeing up some, and then I can get my new friends. So that's
there you go.
If I post one, that means I'm just trying to get rid of people.
Oh, that's right. I'm so glad I got in under the wire then.
Yeah.
Man. Mike is one of my friends, man. If I had waited, I wouldn't have been in that.
Man, we would have figured something out, you know.
My man. So I just want to kind of give people a quick sort of visual of Micah in action. So here we go. You guys ready for this? Hopefully this works. All right. Got that, and got this.
That's an instant replay. You're fixing to get me fired
So
up.
once again showing the punching power that he has. And look, man, this guy lands combinations too. Mike is not out there throwing one at a time.
Bow.
With the jab. When he saw he was hurt, he went in for the kill.
And he certainly did. Good job to Steve for hanging on there as long as he could, but he was hurt like a minute before that and just did his best to, and then he goes taking Kevin down.
Yeah, you see, I mean, there was no question about that stoppage. I mean, Steve was trying to take referee Kevin Mulhall down when they separated them.
No question whatsoever about that. And that's pretty much, there's one question I'm going to ask you, you know, later on is why you think you're so successful. Why have you been successful up until this point? And there you go. I just showed you guys one reason is that if you're going to spend the money to watch this guy fight, you're going to get your money's worth and then some. This guy's got so many wins by TKO, by KO, punches, just stopping the fight in spectacular fashion. It's what fans want. And and you deliver that. So that just goes to my, actually, before we even get to that, why do they call you Simi?
That started as a joke. So with my friends, so back growing up with my guys, like weren't fighters growing up. You know, we're just athletes, kids having fun. And then the older we got, I guess, you know, some of my buddies like to drink a lot and get a little liquid courage. And basically, you know how you boys can be. Basically, it was like, hey, if you got a problem, effing see me.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So it literally started as a joke. And, you know, a lot of people don't know, but back in 2009, early 2010, I was in the WWE for a brief stint from down in FCW, the Florida Championship Wrestling. And,
Oh, wow.
You know, and then that was my stage name as well.
Oh,
down
very
there.
cool.
Yeah.
Did not know that. You were into pro wrestling.
Yeah, I was not. I was in it, but I wasn't into it.
Right,
like,
right.
I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I did it for, you know, a paycheck, and then
Sure.
I went down there. It's painful. I mean, it's not fake. People think it's fake. It's staged. Let's get it right. It's staged.
Yes.
But you don't fake getting hit by a chair. You don't fake jumping off a 12-foot ladder.
Yeah.
Because I did that, and it hurts.
The whole chair thing is just.
It's no joke.
Yeah, that's not a joke.
No.
What was your first experience in the martial arts? Like, what got you into the martial arts?
Just I played sports my whole life. You know, baseball, college down in Alabama. I played football. I mean, I went to Riverdale Baptist. We were a national powerhouse for baseball. And then just everything I was successful in. I was all state, you know, all county, all met, and baseball, football. Could have played, you know, both sports, college ball, D1, wherever I wanted, but well, not wherever I wanted, but basically when I got home and I was done playing baseball down in school, I started working with the power company. And dude, these guys, I mean, I don't care. I mean, I love work, like hard work. I love working with my hands, but these people, were the most miserable people in my life. Like, I came from a positive family, like, brought up, raised right, and these were like, man, this, F that, my old lady, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm looking at my age, and I'm looking at them, and I was like, okay, I'm making good money, but I don't want to be this guy in 40 years telling the young gun, hey, this. So I started getting into it as a hobby. A buddy of mine, I met, his name's Brian Cunningham. He actually corners me and coaches me as well. He introduced me to it one day when we almost got in a fight, and that's how I met him. So we did that, and I went to a gym, trained. Did a couple sparring rounds, and I was like, all right, I didn't really win the rounds, but I didn't really lose the rounds.
Sure.
Just all athleticism. So, and I was like, all right, let me start doing this as a hobby. And then next thing you know, I just took a leap of faith, and I quit my job, quit everything, and now we're here.
Right on.
It's a short version.
Quit his job. See, and this is, excuse me, sorry. This is like we live in a generation now where it used to be you can be whatever you want to be. Go be a singer, dancer, rapper, whatever.
That's what I wanted to be.
Really?
Yeah, but I can't sing.
Dancer or a
Both.
singer? Oh, okay.
No, like a strip club. No. I think myself as.
Wait, what?
All right, I like poles. No, I'm just kidding. The thing is, I tell everybody, and a lot of people that are close to me or even aren't, in my gym, they know what, like, my aspirations. I would love, if I could sing, I'd be a pop star. I'm telling you, I'd rock it like Timberlake, Channing Tatum.
That's
all them.
what's up,
dude. I know, but I can't fucking sing. I'm terrible.
Oh man. Well, it's not. Some people think you can learn to sing. You can't learn to sing. You kind of already have to have.
Oh yeah.
There's so much going on, like in here, and it's like, yeah, I can project it. I'm just gonna project something bad. You know what I mean? Like I used to be in a band. Back in the day, played guitar, did some singing, and then I got older. Probably smoking didn't help, and now it maybe the blues. That's about it. I can't really sing or do nothing. It's just like you mess up your instrument, you're done. Forget about it. So
I get it.
So instead, now he's doing what he's doing. I don't know, man. How do you feel that you didn't become the next like Justin Timberlake? You okay with that?
I mean, I'm alright with it. I'll be honest. I lose a little sleep at night over it, but I mean, it's whatever. I was already predestined. God had His plan for me. And now here I am. So I mean, I truly wouldn't be where I am today unless I went through everything I did, making the mistakes, doing the things right and wrong that I have. So
why do you think you were in so many fights as a youngster? Do you think it's where you grew up? You said you grew up in what, Alabama?
No. That's just where I went to college. No,
okay.
I grew up in PG County.
So it's definitely where you came from.
Yeah, I my first real, I got a couple scraps as a kid, but then like it wasn't like that was my life. It was high school, got into my first two big ones, and then I don't know what it was. I felt like I had a chip on my shoulder in my late 20s.
Yeah.
And every time I go out, I mean, I don't know if that was the fact. It was right before I got into the actual to mixed martial arts and stuff. I think it was, I just needed to prove that I am athletic, and I needed to do something. I needed an outlet, and I found it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Who's your first favorite fighter, like the fighter that you looked at before you got onto the
that
stage?
was my same one still, Cowboy. It's my buddy.
My man, wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I heard on through the grapevine that you actually got a chance to go out.
Oh yeah, I lived with him for a little while, and I'm on a bunch of his the BMF Ranch original videos.
Right.
You'll see me out there with Pat Healy, Bam, and then Paul Felder, Brent Primus from Bellator was the champ, and then Jonathan Webb and all them guys. Frankie Lester I knew, so
awesome.
It was pretty good.
One thing I loved about getting to actually meet Cowboy was just how down to earth Cowboy is, and not just with me, not just with like the press, quote unquote, but seeing that like when he was at Primetime, before Cowboy Fight Series 1, he was talking to everybody. He didn't say, "Oh, I don't have time." Oh,
he's a total WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get.
I love that.
Good, that's exactly right.
He's authentic. He's upfront about everything that he is and how he feels about certain things, and you're either gonna respect it or you're gonna walk away from it. But for him, it feels like whenever you speak to him, you always have this sense that he's definitely more in tune with who he is. And that's all that he wants to project, and he'd rather just go with that rather than try to put on any kind of front or anything like that.
Yeah, he's got an incredible outlook on life. And when I interviewed him, he was Fight Game Podcast number 12. Mm-hmm. That was the last one. He was all about not just showing guys like how to fight, and the business side of things and all that, but also like how to live.
We did more living and having fun than we did training out there.
Can you tell me?
Right?
Can you talk about your experiences out there a little bit?
Yeah, wild. He's a crazy SOB. The first time I met him when I was actually at Jackson Winks, and Henry Smith was on his way out. My coach now, he was on his way out, and he's like, man, you should talk to him, blah blah blah. I was like, all right, like, who am I supposed to go? He's like, who am I to go up talk to Cowboy? So we went and trained. We rolled with him a little bit. And this was right before I hurt my knee when I was out there, but I rolled and we were going at it, and he was like, all right. He's like, all right, man. Where are you from? And I told him, I said Maryland. He's like, oh, really? You know Henry? I said, I absolutely do. He goes, all right. He said, pack your bags. You're coming with me. So he took me from the dorms. I actually only stayed at Jackson Winks one day, and then the rest of the time I was out there, I was living at his house. And the experience is I mean, you name it, dirt bikes.
I was going to say, there's a lot of dirt biking, a lot of shooting.
Yeah, shooting. You'll see in some of the videos of him in the clay shooting. I mean, guns. If you want to go rock climbing, you want to go play golf. Like, it just whatever he felt like doing that day, we did.
You didn't go. What does he do? Underwater caving?
Oh, hell no, nothing.
Dude.
No, he's done that. And the way that he almost died is insane. Like, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I'm certified in the Bahamas, I guess you should say. I've done scuba diving. I like it. And if I go back out there, I definitely will go with him wherever you went. But that's insane. I ain't going that deep.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
That's nightmare fuel. Like he was that one that one.
When he was talking about it, I was like, oh my God, please get to the end. Please get to the end. Tell me you live.
Yeah,
Like,
you're talking about when it was dark in the camera.
Yeah.
He almost died. He lost his lead. Oh, I can't even, because I'm already paranoid of like all that crap.
Yeah. The anxiety that I was getting just from him telling the story, I was like, I know you make it out, dude, but Jesus Christ, this is killing me.
Yeah, it was killing, dude, killing you, killing me. Holy cow, man! I'm already claustrophobic. I don't need that in my life.
He'd wakeboard. It wouldn't matter. It would be. It just got done snowing, and then we'd go to a lake about 2 hours away, and he'd just get some dry suits on. We're going wakeboard, taking the boat out. That man.
Did you have any? You don't have to say names, but were there any fighters out there that were like, "No, man, I'm not doing that"?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you right now. Paul Felder. He was so disciplined. Him and then newly UFC fighter Sean Brady. Them two dudes are disciplined. Like, they would stay at home and do 1,000 crunches instead of going out and doing other stuff. Which, I mean, to each his own. It's just me. I'm a little older than guys, so I've already done. I'm just trying to experience life and live it. So I was like, hell, if I'm out here with you for a while, I'm doing it.
All right.
I'm 1 year older than you, so that means
You're 22. Oh, that a boy.
Isn't that great? What that means is this. You and I probably have a lot of just as far as like watching martial arts change, watching what was important in martial arts change. Like you and I probably grew up watching Van Damme, watching Sylvester, watching the Seagulls,
yep.
Back when people thought that was legit, and then to watch UFC 1, 2, and 3 come out and then completely change the game. You're like, who's this Royce Gracie guy? And just basically we watched MMA become what it is today.
It's funny you say that. I literally have watched it evolve from where it started. Then it transitioned once Royce Gracie came and they got the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and you had to get the ground game. Well, now it's going back to stand-up because people are so well-versed on the ground, and they're harder to take down. And if you don't get taken down, what do you got to do? You got to stand.
Yep.
And that's what the crowd is now. So it's gone from, its primitive standpoint of just fighting. Like, you're going out there, no really technical skill at all. You're locked in a cage, and that's what was so gruesome and it was so frowned upon. But now with the rules, all the stipulations added, for the fighter safety, it's really taken a good turn. And, I mean, you could be a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but as soon as you get punched in the face, you turn into a brown, purple, white, and blue, and all that. And that's true. Nowadays, that's why you got to be well-rounded. Now, you can't just be one-dimensional anymore.
That seems to be, just based on, and I watched a lot of your fights. First of all, I want to say thank you to John Rollo. Thank you, Shogun Fights.
Absolutely.
Thank you, CFFC.
CFFC, XEC, LFA, CES.
Yeah.
Who else? I just fought Strike Off. And then, I fought, I think, 7 different organizations so far. I got wins in every single one, too, so that's good.
My man.
Now, you fought in several places in the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as a savvy audience, where have you felt that the audience was very savvy about what they were watching, especially when it gets down to like the grappling aspect of it?
As far as like how they react to it, like
Yeah,
I would say Jersey.
Makes sense.
I would say Jersey with the grappling. They're not booing you, not standing you up, not yelling, stuff like that. I fought at Auburn down in Alabama. That was wild. I did that as an amateur, and I'll tell you what, that was a little crazy. I mean, Boston. My fight in Boston only fought. It was only a minute and a half, and standing, and they liked it. But I wasn't the underdog. But I don't remember if I was, but I wasn't the hometown. Their hometown boy was there, so it was a different feel.
Have you ever fought in Philly?
I have. I fought. No, did I fight in Philly?
Philly's an interesting place to fight.
No, that one isn't. No, I haven't fought there, but I fought Atlantic City and stuff. But no, not in Philly. I've seen. Now you're right. I have seen my teammates, Elisha and all them. They fought there, and it's a different crowd for sure.
Yeah,
hostile.
Yeah,
very hostile.
Philly. And maybe this goes for any of
Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles fans.
Oh, sorry. HTTR.
But like, when we went to Philly, and we know they don't want you to win. We know
no, they don't.
But
they let you know that.
And they let you know that, but in probably the most violent way possible. Like they threaten you, and they are just...
Dude, if their football games look like cage matches.
Well, look, I'm a big, huge Redskins fan. Like, diehard. I've been there since the beginning. I grew up literally by, my house, my parents' house. You could see FedEx Field, but I went to, RFK and all that.
Yeah.
But Philly, good Lord,
they're down.
They're the only stadium that has a holding cell, a jail cell in their building. So what does that tell you?
They are diehard.
They are. It doesn't matter if you're a boy, girl, or whatever you consider yourself. They'll go after you, and that's one stadium I will wear neutral colors. I've been there twice, and I didn't fly my Redskins colors.
Yeah.
I mean, had nothing to do with, I know I can handle myself, but at the same time, you never know what's going to happen.
You don't want to invite it either.
Hell no.
Like, especially, like, it's interesting to go out there.
You're not gonna be like Junior Dos Santos. Allegedly, you guys see that video? It was on my Facebook feed today, I think, where they had what do you call that? Like security footage in a nightclub. Did you see that? Security footage of a nightclub of a man, a big man in a nightclub who took out 5 other dudes in the nightclub. Just punch, knock out, punch, knock out, punch.
Sounds like the Rock. Sounds like the Rock in the Rundown.
and they're like, allegedly, they're like, we're not sure if this is him. It sure as hell looks like him on camera, and the way he's knocking these fools out. It's like
that's awesome.
So no Dos Santos situation for you.
No. So I do private security for the Redskins with Apex. I'm on the rapid response team. I haven't been active. I work with them a few times a year, but I enjoy going to the games now because for 4 years I was there working them in. We've had a couple situations that I go in there and they love me out there because I lay people out, and it's I don't play games. But it's nothing. No Junior Dos Santos allegedly stuff happening.
That's good. Let's keep it clean, man.
Yeah.
Keep it clean. Represent.
But
represent Christ.
I do. For some reason, I am the most targeted one out of my group, and I don't get it. I mean, like I said, I do wear tighter clothes. I do. I do have my beautiful girlfriend with me. When I go out a lot and other stuff. So I mean, it's like, why are you going to go after me? Can I just buy you a drink? Because I know I probably look a little sweet to you, but I'm going to hurt you. You know what I mean? You come after me, I'm going to hurt you.
What do you do? Okay. What do you do? You're in the club or wherever you go. I don't know if you go to the club. I don't know if you go out dancing or whatever. You might, right?
I did. I tell you, man. I used to every weekend. I would live my dream as trying to be a Justin Timberlake and battle dance if I couldn't sing, and then
So you're out. So you're out there in the club.
Yeah.
And some guy steps to you got some foul dudes out there. They step up to your girl. Mm-hmm. What is in your mind? What do you do?
I don't need to handle it. She handles it for me.
Oh, snap.
Which is a good thing. But sometimes, if they're
probably why y'all are together.
Yeah, if they're real forceful, and they just keep saying they're being real ignorant, I just have them, politely talk to them, and I always offer them, hey man, let me get you a shot, no hard feelings. But I'm, believer, and as far as if you put your hands on me or my family, you're asking what I'm going to bring to you. Luckily, I'm more trained now, and I've been in the game a lot longer, so I can put you out with without punching. Perfect example. I was on the news right after Shogun Fight in that subway that is on the that is in
This
Power
last
Hour
Shogun?
Plant. No, this
Okay,
was about
okay.
4
All right.
Shoguns ago.
Okay.
And actually, so we're in Subway. We're at the end of the club, hours and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
we're going. I'm starving. Obviously, it's the night of the fight. I'm dying to eat anyway.
Absolutely.
This guy out of nowhere just comes in and locks the door. I mean, the place is packed, and he's like, nobody's going anywhere. And I'm just like ordering my food, and I just kind of stop and I look at my girlfriend, and she's just shaking her head. She's like, no. She's like, no. And so I was like, all right. So I continue ordering, but then he gets louder. The security guard, who was armed, goes over, and this guy just throws him to the ground. And I'm like, bro, you have a gun, and you're a security guard, and you just got tossed on the ground. And I said, can I? And he's like, starts to get like irate. And she finally just gives me a nod, and I go up there and I said, look, guys, if you don't let us out, I said, I'm going to put you to sleep. And he goes, cusses, and he throws a punch, and I move, so put him in a rear naked choke, and he starts, I hold it until he's done.
Yeah.
He's literally shaking. He was out for a couple minutes. I guess he was a little bit more intoxicated. Not really sure exactly what happened or why his rhyme or reason was. The cops showed up. I ended up getting my food for free.
That's
And then-
awesome.
And they, and then I went out, and apparently, like, the news called up, and they sent the video and stuff like that out. So
That's pretty dope.
You know, one thing that that makes me think about a good thing about competing, and being so used to being in a fight, like a cage match, like that type of fight, or in the ring, Muay Thai or whatever, is that you develop that. Because a lot of guys that have never fought, but for some reason they get the liquid courage, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready to fight. Maybe I work out or something." They still get those jitters during the fight.
That adrenaline dump.
That
boy.
adrenaline dump.
Yeah, they do.
Nothing scarier than a guy that's his heart doesn't race at all. Like I'll fight you right now, and nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see a guy, if you're trying to step to a guy in a nightclub, and he doesn't seem nervous or nothing, it's nothing spiking or anything, you better just stop.
Yeah.
You better just like call it right there and be like, you know what, I'm sorry, bro, and just walk away. But young people, right? Like young guys, young girls who come to, say, the hot box to learn how to fight. Maybe they go in, they do some rounds, they just get accustomed to fighting. So much better out there in the real world where you don't feel like you need to, have that a dump. You're just so used to it. Like, how much better would it be if you could be in any situation and you don't have to dump?
Well, I think a lot of situations would de-escalate that way, and then there wouldn't be. And that's also a huge point of why I do what I do, especially with my gym, with these kids that have bad upbringing or just had a troubled childhood, and just like teenagers and adults. It is a remedy, and they leave everything there. So if they leave, not only they gain confidence when they leave, but they also leave their stressful day. You don't know how many texts I get. I've had such a hard day. Can we punch a lot more today? Can we hit more stuff? Opposed to the weights and the other cardio stuff. And I'm like, absolutely. So to me, that is when I knew that I lost my chip on my shoulders when I started boxing and started MMA. And I was just so tired of punching there. I didn't need to or have any desire to go out and prove who I was anymore.
Yeah.
Because I knew. So I definitely, I truly believe that it helps.
I love guys that, like, obviously all the OGs that we have talked to, that have started gyms, back in the day, started gyms now. I just love the fact that seasoned fighters are not just stopping, not just like going and getting a 9 to 5 somewhere, but they're actually now contributing to their society the way, that started in gyms. And, not all of them, I'm sure, are, as, have the warrior mentality, but also have, like the
Yeah, the honest truth is, you're gonna find that not all gyms are created equal, and the gyms that give you the vibe that, they give you that positive vibe and that encouragement, whether you're a kid that's being bullied, a person that's trying to lose weight, whatever the case may be, those are the ones that go above and beyond, and they're head and shoulders above everybody else, and that's why a gym like yours can gain so much popularity from word of mouth, because the people that are advertising your gym wholeheartedly believe in what you're doing, and because they get such a positive vibe from it, that comes through when they tell other people, you gotta try this place, it is amazing. I've always felt nervous about that, and I've always been scared, and these people helped me understand what it was like, and now I don't feel as intimidated anymore. I don't have gym intimidation. I don't feel like.
Did you just say gym intimidation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I never heard that.
Yeah, you could be more spot on with that comment. You're so spot on.
I mean, it's definitely what we need. There's there's that saying that, you know, do something that makes you come alive, because that's what the world needs. The world needs people that have come alive so that they can bring others up with them. So to have places like Micah's in Maryland, or like Carlos in Annandale, or Disciple in Sterling, and, you know, all the other gyms around here that are doing that same
Chase,
kind of message.
don't forget Chase.
Oh my God,
Chase
Virginia
Walden,
Beach.
yeah.
You gotta love Chase
Yeah.
Walden. You know, that's what we want to be able, and that's what the whole reason why we wanted to put this kind of a show together, was to be able to put shine to those gyms that are doing that, because that's
the real gems, because it's hard to find the right one. There's so many now.
Right.
It's so hard to find the right one. Oh, hey, tune in to Fight Game. The people we talk to are the people that you want to be associated with.
Yeah, we definitely want to make sure that we're always putting the people that are putting that kind of positive vibe out there. That's really awesome.
It's here. It's near and far, because you got some gyms that are just money hungry, and then so like mine, you know, I started a couple months ago, but I'm going to end with the same vision: family oriented gym. I don't care if I get to corporate size one day, you know, because I've already had a couple people. It's insane. I've literally had 2 or 3 people looking to franchise in different states.
That's awesome.
Which is like wild to me, but I don't ever want to lose that family feel. As soon as you do that, then you're no good. You're no better than any of the else. Like a big corporate gym, like a 24-hour fitness for us, LA Fitness, Gold Gym, stuff like that.
UFC gym.
That's the biggest. I mean, you can have the product you want, but as soon as all you care about is money and just turning members over, and you don't know them, and you know, in my old gym, in the gym now, I can tell you what their kids do. I can tell you where they go to school. I can tell you how old what their husbands do for a living, what the wives do, you know, and because I'm involved and that's what I believe, you know, that's kind of like my mission
community
statement.
baby.
You know, it's community, and we're gonna reach out, and we're killing it, and we're gonna keep killing it that way.
That's awesome.
Are you still are you still officially training out of Conquest?
No, I'm not. Like I said, we talked briefly. We separated ways after, you know, a little bit over more than a decade. My hat's off to them. You know, hopefully they continue to do what they do. Great BJJ plays. Me, it was just time, you know, to step away and step up. And now I am kind of cross-training. Like, my gym is slowly converting to, you know, where I'll be able to train, you know, another fighters full-time there. But I'm with Henry Smith. Mainly he comes to my gym or go to ground control, train there, get a couple sparring rounds, and then I'm under Carlos Cantina for BJJ, but I also now newly am running the MMA program at Noel Smith, so I kind of got my hand in a little bit of everything. But I like that because, you know, I get to give my knowledge back to everybody. All the
MMA websites. You guys hear that? You guys need to go ahead and change the fighting out of part on your website.
I tried to do that on Tapology already, but I had to claim the page, which I did. So I'm waiting for all that stuff to go through. But and also nowadays it's I can't stress enough how big it is to cross train. You can have your loyalty, you know, and where you've been, you know, whatever. But at the same time, if they can't give you everything, you got to remember it's your career, not theirs. You know, and then they can act like, oh, well, we're your coaches. That's fine, but you know, in the end, you're just a gym. You know what I mean? And so if I can get different looks, different fighters somewhere else, different advice from different coaches elsewhere, I still have my coaches. But
he sounds so much like Cowboy. It's uncanny.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's really weird. I mean, not to say you are your own man, obviously, but boy, do you have good vibes coming out of you, man. Because there's the same thing Cowboy was saying when he was talking about BMF Ranch and helping these fighters with the fight series. He's like, I don't care where you go, if you leave, if you come back, if you train at different places, it doesn't matter to me, because that's not really what matters nowadays anyway.
It doesn't, and people in some old school places like that feel that way, feel betrayed, feel like, you know, but it was nothing ever against them, you know, but you have to step your game up. I mean, you have to do what's best for you.
Yeah.
And if you have enough money to train, or if you don't even need money, if you get invited like to train other places, why not? You expand. That's how the world was created. I mean, like, you know, we're not all here in ball. You have the entire globe.
Bruce Lee mentality, man.
Bruce Lee mentality, man. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, that reminds me. I was watching this. God, I keep non sequirting over here, but it makes sense. I was watching a show, Louder with Crowder. I don't know if you ever seen that. Okay, and he was debunking the myth of Bruce Lee, and it was one of those times I'm like, dude, you need to get out of your lane, bro.
Yeah.
He was like saying all this stuff about Bruce Lee and how, okay, mind you, if Bruce Lee fought trained the way he did back then, yeah, there's no way he'd be able to compete with fighters today. It's just different, right?
But he would train. He would evolve.
He would have evolved.
That's what he did.
Exactly. So that being said, and your training, your training paradigm, I wanna understand, what does it look like for you running up to getting prepared for your next fight? Like what all do you do, starting from like you sign the paperwork to fight night? How do you prepare for that?
Well, mentally, I mean, as Jamie would know, as soon as my phone. So right now you'll see, it's let me clear it all. Clear. It's my son. Everybody can see it. He's always on my background. You know, that's my motivation. But come about 3 months out, 2 months out, as soon as I find out who I'm fighting, they go on the background of my phone. And they consume me as far as mentally. Just, you know, so I can see their face. I get pissed because I can't see my son on here. So I see them face, and, you know, and I just know. So I know I'm so comfortable when I see him. I'm like, dude, I've known you for months. You know, I've known you for years, whether I've never known you at all. But so it's a mental transition. But I mean, this past fight camp, I'll be honest, this was probably the best fight camp I've ever had in my entire career, and that's
fighting for against John.
Mm-hmm, against John Hughes. Yes, it was just mentally, I didn't have any stress from my transition from my training place. I thought it'd be a lot worse than it was, as far as me like finding like certain things and then getting into a rhythm, but it wasn't.
Okay.
I went back to my old strength and conditioning coach, and I mean, he just basically said, dude, you need to get that dog back. Because at the same time, a lot of people don't know, some people do know, my last 3 fights were coming off surgeries. You know, knee surgery, hands. And I, you know, back to back, you know. So, well, I'm sorry, 2 surgeries, but I had 3 injuries back to back. And so I didn't really, the fight that I fought before John Hughes, it was basically, I had titanium put in both my hands.
I can see it. The back of your hands are just definitely.
Let me see it. Oh man.
Yeah, you can see the little ridges and all that. So basically, I was
TKO by punches every time.
Yeah, and I still ended up getting a TKO against who the heck did I just fight before him? Dameron Kirby. But I was suspect. People were like, oh, you didn't look as good. Well, no shit. I didn't throw my hands because I was tentative because I had surgery 6 weeks prior. Okay, but I'm still there fighting. You know what I mean? And then prior to that, I'd fought, you know, before LFA, and I tore my knee completely. LCL, PCL, ACL, MCL, and they had to re-drill my meniscus back into my back of my root.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about a mental game? I mean, I was just down. Like, I mean, in 10 years that I've been doing this, I never really got hurt. Like, I mean, I broke this hand once, but it wasn't surgical, you know? So this fight camp alone, I changed my entire life January 1st. Like, I'm talking about everything, whether it was my devotionals with Christ, whether it was, you know, how my relationship, you know, at home was with my girlfriend and my son, and, you know, just wake up every morning doing certain little things that I would just put off, you know, and then I read every day. I'm on my 4th book this year alone. Yes, I can read. Okay, it is a 5th grade reading level.
What are you reading?
This book that I'm on this month is called True Competitor. Tony Dungy did the forward. It's just a bunch of it's 2 different writers that give different stories on athletes and stuff, and it's just about the grit, the edge.
Yeah, it's kind of like the fighter's mind and the fighter's heart.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So that helps me every morning. So I wake up in the morning, do that, and then I have my training schedule 2 to 3 times a day, about 5 to 6 days a week. But I also know when not to. That's also the other thing. You have to know your body. Yeah. If you don't know your body, you don't listen, you're gonna end up hurting yourself more. But so mentally, I will get back to it. I told you I go on.
No, please go.
Yeah.
So this camp, I quit drinking. I'm sitting here drinking 2 beers, but it's funny. No, but I mean, ironically, I mean, I'm saying that, but I'm doing this. But I drank maybe a handful of times this year, opposed to every weekend. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I went from a bar stool, you know, because I couldn't train because I couldn't even walk on this leg for a month. Like I couldn't put any weight. So I mean, depression kicked in, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know why. You know, first time in my life that I couldn't do something active. You know what I mean? Yeah. So once I got past that, and I just said, hey, I'm not letting it take over me anymore. My mindset changed, just trying to be more positive. So I cut that out, started training conditioning, strength conditioning more. Started upping my boxing, my kickboxing, Muay Thai with Henry. We trained 3 to 4 times a week. Mitts alone, sparring. I sparred probably 5 more times than not 5 more times, but 5 times more this camp than I ever did. and with multiple multitude of fighters. And then my BJJ, I upped it, even though I am no longer on a De La Riva under Vicente Jr. My game has evolved to something that's scary. With Carlos, he's given me a top game. Like, I was already a good guy on top and stuff, but I mean, he's evolved it. So it's just the mental mindset. I just knew I was prepared. I was more prepared.
That's
healthy.
good. That's good to hear about your BJJ, because I know in the past that's been really the only time that you've been stopped is like guillotines and things like that.
Yeah. So out of the 7 losses I have, the ones that mental, I'll tell you right now, it wasn't because they physically beat me. It was because I wanted to get out and get a beer. I'll tell you why. Like against the Del Bruce fight, against anybody that you see me losing, I'm not really losing the fight. Like the one guy that I can say I did get called against was Cole Presley. I was dominating that fight, winning the fight. He's a
Is that the real bloody one?
Yep.
Jeez.
And with 1 minute left, my coach says shoot because he was a little worried I was getting hit. I mean, well, it's a fight. It's 3rd round. I was already won 10-8, 10-8 rounds. So, and it was a minute left, and he said shoot, and I listened to my coach, and I went and, I shot. It was my fault. It wasn't his. I'm not blaming it on anybody. Mm-hmm. That one, I got caught. The other ones, I put myself in that situation because I was mental. It was a mental head case. I didn't think I was prepared. I didn't think, I was like, oh, I'm winning this fight, but I'm starting to get tired. Well, if I'm starting to get tired, how do I get out of here? How do I go get a beer and just end it? Well, I mentally quit. I look for the easiest. It's like electricity. Always looks for a way out. That's what I was doing. And I am 9 out of my last 10? 8 out of my last 9 fights finishes, like besides one.
Yeah.
In my mental, there's nobody that can fucking beat me.
There's
not right now. There's nowhere not.
Look, that Cole. I watched that a couple of times. That Cole Presley fight was insanity. Like, you want to talk about you did not see that coming. I mean, you watch the first few rounds. You're just like, oh yeah, well, he's got this.
He's trying to take me down. I'm throwing him off me. Did you believe it or not? I didn't even have a striking coach then.
Really?
I had no strat. I was all self-taught.
Jeez.
And so, because at Conquest, BJJ Conquest. That's the name, and that's what they're known for, and that's what they're great at. I was actually the striking coach there. Okay. So that was actually when I got back from Cowboys, when Henry started working me a little bit out there, and that was the first time. And then I got with Jason Farrell over at Level Up, who is an amazing coach, and it wasn't until after that I actually got a coach.
Right.
And now I'm starting to put things together.
You had everything. Just hearing that, because obviously that's the first time I'm hearing it from your mouth. You had everything. Just as a spectator watching this thing, it's like this guy. They were calling him the Terminator. The commentators were like, this guy is the Terminator. Like, nothing is putting this guy down. Everything that Micah is putting on this guy should have knocked this guy out. And it's just like this
tough dude,
he is
man.
tough. And so his body, if you watch the fight, it was in the round 2. It was about 10, 20 seconds. I hit him. I saw his weakness. But I was like, this is such an easy fight. I'm not really like bothered. I said, I can go another round. Yeah. Well, I kicked him, I had a body kick, and I seen him wince and go down. And I saw red. I was about to go in, but then I was like, oh, I don't want to get too tired for the last round just in case. But I should have went and just bodied him up. But then again, I didn't really have a coach ever tell me that.
Yeah.
He's
weak in the body. Go after it.
Yeah, I didn't know. So it's how it ended up how it came out.
All that stuff against you, that just actually makes it more impressive to me how well that went for you.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So, but believe it or not, though, you were talking about my BJJ game. I've had my brown belt for about 2.5 years now. So
okay.
I do study. I do a lot of gi and no gi. I do more than you can imagine. I am a lot better than you can imagine, and I'm just waiting to show it. I got to show it a little bit against Dameron, just taking him down on top and just transitioning like with no problem. But like if somebody wants to go to the ground, good luck. Like, because we will go. In my mental game, I'm telling you, there's nobody on this East Coast region, even a bigger show. Like if my mental thing's there, they cannot physically beat me. 15 minutes. If you cannot, you just can't. I'm telling you, I'm so strong in the head mentally and phically. I just know you can't.
Now, I'm sure you know you're familiar with the organization, the Fight to Win organization.
Oh yeah.
So
I want those. I was at the last one.
Okay,
so.
I was gonna ask if you've been invited to compete in those. Is that something that's on your radar?
Yeah, that's absolutely something on my radar. Like I said, I just got back off surgery, so now that I'm healthy again and feeling good,
Excuse me.
God bless you. I'll be able to get out there and showcase. It's just I'm just trying to figure out because I've been told I'm close to getting my black belt, so we'll see what happens.
Man.
We'll have to wait and see.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I'm telling you, man. I'm not talking to a 36-year-old man right now, or a
30,
35.
I was going to say, hold on.
35.
Okay.
So
2021.
That's right. I forgot. 1 year under me, right? I can't believe it. Anybody that looks at this guy, if you didn't know how old he was, you'd be like, yeah, man, that dude's mid-20s,
26.
maybe. Yeah, 26, 27. And it's great because, like my mom says, age ain't nothing but a number. If you're game, you're game.
It's how you feel.
Right.
It's that old thing. You move it or you lose it. I never really understood that, but if you actually look at it and hear it, and I tell all my older clients that you move it or you're going to lose it. Don't stop moving. It's so true. I thought I just move it or lose it. Like me, and if I moved it out of my spot, I'd lose my spot. You know, I didn't understand it, but it's so true to the body nowadays and your mind. Your mind becomes stagnant, your body will become stagnant.
That's actually an old Chinese proverb. The door that never stops swinging, the hinges never rust. So let me ask you this. I mean, I don't see any slowdown in you whatsoever. In fact, we're all seeing this sort of drive up. Where are we driving up to?
Anywhere and everywhere. I am under Sucker Punch. So what I've been told is I have a goal to get to this year, and I will get there. And then I should have my pick, have my offers. In reality, I'd like to fight for one championship. So why not fly across the world, get paid well? They pay very well.
Yeah.
PFL I was looking at, but their whole merger with ESPN kind of screwed a lot of people over because they cut the 185s out, so all they went to the 170s, so they weren't really looking outsourced. Yeah. They were already insourced from their guys, so that kind of hurt a lot of people. They were trying to get in, but I mean, it's whatever God has planned.
Right on.
And that's, like I said, I mean, that's just how I feel. I mean, you're not going to change my mind. I'm just going to keep staying the course that I believe and just keep training, keep focused, and having fun. I'm having fun again.
Yeah, right on.
If you see me when I'm training, if you see me when I'm training, I have so much fun. And I'm not even worried. I'm just not worried about it. I just go. And I'm training at different hours that I never even thought I'd train at because I'm just up, feeling good. And I'm calling my coach. I'm like, hey, you up? You want to get some rolling in? I hit Carlos at like 7, 8 in the morning. Yeah. And we end up going before I have to teach. So it's just fun.
That's what's up. Hey, speaking of big shows, UFC, the whole merger with ESPN
Plus.
Screwing. A lot of people are really upset about that, man. How do you feel about that?
I hate that I got to subscribe to something in order to watch a damn prelim. It's not free. Nothing's free anymore. Yeah. I don't know. What's your outlook on it? I think it's crap. I think it's money, but that's what the fight game is, right?
It is. That's the. It is. You got to think of it as sports entertainment, and they are focusing on that entertainment piece of it.
Yeah.
And I go back and forth on this about Dana White and his decisions, how to run the business, how to treat the fighters, and all of that stuff. And I know I've seen interviews of the Fertitta brothers where they criticized boxing and how they treated their fighters, and there was a guy I was watching an interview with Lorenzo, and he was saying that there was just a fight on ESPN. One of the guys on the main card made $300.
That's messed up.
And he was like,
so messed up.
But you're gonna criticize me because I don't pay my guys as much as a primetime boxing match. So you still have both extremes, and like I said, I've gone back and forth on this because from one standpoint, you have to make sure that as a business, your brand grows, you get global recognition, and that you're able to expose your fighters so that they have more opportunities open to them. But where I start to get critical of it is when you start taking some of those opportunities away from the fighters from like a sponsorship standpoint, because those are one of the best venues for a lot of fighters is sponsorships.
Football.
Right? I'll get into that. That's something I want to get into.
Yeah, and you have guys like George St. Pierre was sponsored by Under Armour.
He was sponsored by Under Armour. Anderson Silva was Nike.
Yeah.
John Jones, Nike. They had one check. They had one check on their butt. That was it. That's all they needed. But
Football didn't become what it is today with all the huge paychecks and all that until they put out football free on television. Yeah. I mean,
it was until they made it mainstream, but it was accessible to the lower income, the middle class, the upper class. Like however you look at it, it was mainstream. It was sent for everybody, and as soon as everybody got a piece of it, that's when it blew up.
I was waiting for MMA to do that. Like we've been watching MMA this whole time. Like, okay, when is it going to become mainstream? It's going to be on Channel 5, 7, 9, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you know what? You want to pay these guys? Sponsorships are out there. They all want that. They want their, like you said, they want their logo on the shorts, man. Just make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, you look at like guys that we always talk about, yes, the top 1% of 1% always, are the ones that are in it, to make that kind of money. But at the same time, again, that global recognition, the accessibility that you should have to the fighters and to be able to sponsor these guys, that's something that really needs to be thought of, just, not just from a brand perspective, but just from being a good person, a good, employer to your fighters. Right. Let them have that chance, because while you're sitting on billions of dollars and, double digit and triple digit growth in your revenues, I don't see the same double and triple digit growth in the fighter pay.
Because you got them locked up, or you think you do,
yeah.
But then now you got these overseas
Yeah.
things.
Well, now you're exactly right, and that's also something that I'm in the works with. I'm looking to do seminars, and work with a couple other people. But the main gist is just teaching a fighter how to make it, coming from amateurs, whether, and it just stems across the board, whether, your loyalty, where your loyalty lies. Your loyalty always lies with yourself. Don't ever forget that. As soon as you forget that, then you're going to be owned by somebody else, but not yourself. So, your loyalty, so you always be loyal to yourself. Now, remember, not all gyms got your back. They have their different prerogatives, their different mindsets for you and how they want to use you.
Oh, yeah, they do.
People, not all fights are smart to take. What's training smart. Old school's out. There's so many, a list of stuff that I cannot wait to go on and share to young fighters and teach them. But the biggest thing is sponsorships. You can make money. Start with a mom and pop shop. You don't need the big one. If you hold out for the big one, you might not ever get it. But if you have 10 little ones, that equals the big one. You're looking at the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you just go and start asking everybody. You just start becoming a staple in your small community, and then you're going to slowly grow. And and you'll get your money, and you'll get the training you want. You'll be able to afford the little things that you want for your family. And so that's also part of the stuff that I want to get out there. And I can't wait. That is my life goal, is to reach as many people as I can and just give back from what I've been given.
Yeah.
So
now let me ask you this. Let me ask you a question about training.
Mm-hmm.
Sparring. How hard do you go? How often do you do it?
My thing is old school. Speaking of, so when I went out to Jackson's, I got Winklejohn green-lighted me by two of his Russians, and I was basically fighting for my life. I ended up knocking one guy out, broke the other one's nose, and he ended him because there was blood everywhere during the training. And Winklejohn comes, he said, "You got some pretty good hands. You saw some stuff coming." I looked at him. I said, "Fucker." I was fighting for my life. I said, "I know what you did." You know what I mean? And he just kind of smiled. He said, "Well, you survived, didn't you?" And I said, "No, thanks to you."
Yeah.
But so yeah.
I didn't hear you shouting tips at me when I was getting.
No, that's exactly right. He was calling these out. Calling the things out, and I'm like, "Oh my Lord." But sparring, concussion's a real thing.
Yeah.
Okay, concussions is real. We can't, the CTE, we can't get around it. So why take concussions when you're not getting paid? Why take them even in general? If you can avoid them. I'm a big advocate for hard sparring as far as speed.
Yeah.
I can go 80-90%, but I can control my power.
Yeah.
The saying. But then again, I am nobody's punching bag. You don't ever want to be. Nobody wants to be that. I'd like to get to where I can come to the gym, get my hard rounds in that I need to, and still walk home, drive home to my family. You don't need to go all out. Nobody's getting paid to spar. Some people are. Some people are getting paid to get their butt, like the ass beat, but don't do it. Just also different days require different things, big gloves, like one day. So you got bigger gloves. You're not trying to hurt. There's no winner or loser. A lot of people remember, they don't leave their egos at the door. They bring it with you. If you get tagged in sparring, they're like, "Oh, we just lost." Well, it's not a fight. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they'll realize real quick.
Nobody was keeping score. I promise you.
Nobody was keeping score. Right, exactly. GSP said one time, he said, "You're only," he's like, "Oh, you're the best in the world." He said, "You're only the best in the world for that night. Anybody can come and take you if you're not on your game at that point." So it goes with sparring. You don't have to be the best in the world at sparring. You know what I mean? Because you got to get ready. If I get hurt, you lose a training partner. If I hurt you, I lose a training partner, and then we can't train. So just be smart, when you're out there. But I spar 2 days a week, whether it's big gloves, little gloves. Whether we're working full out. I'll do stand up one day, and then I'll do MMA another day. But then I do my ground. We'll do a lot of rolling, little ground and pound rolling, no standing and stuff. So, but I just, anybody out there listening, I just be smart about it. Your head, your button, your button starts small, but it could get to be real big. And as soon as that button's pressed, one too many times, what quality of life do you want?
Right.
Outside, you're not getting, depends on how much you're getting paid and what you think, but Just be smart about it.
He's advocating for the Thai style of sparring, which is these guys fight every week.
Yeah,
They
every
gotta-
week.
They got to stay healthy.
And
So-
they're getting cut up and elbowed and
Yep.
kneed, and there is no takedown. There is no pause. That clinch is real. You know,
Oh, it's
so
real. Hell yeah, it's
so-
real.
But I mean, and that's awesome. Now, I'm gonna add. You've always been known throughout your career, and for as long as I've followed you, it's always been about the hands. It's always been about the heavy hands. So, do you use that in your fights, that you make them afraid of your hands so that you can go to something else? Do you?
Now, yes, great
Okay.
question. It wasn't until I finally got this one knockout with the hook. I'm talking about it was boxing amateur. It's still online. I ended up hitting with a hook and knocked him out of the ring. Until I really actually believed in my power and realized, because I mean, I had coaches like, oh, just you just go to the ground, go to the ground. Well, but why? I keep knocking them out. Why? Why the hell do I gotta go? You know, what? I don't want to do that.
No, man, I'm winning. I'm winning.
Yeah, I'm winning. So why? Oh, just look to press them, get them down, and like, no. Why can't I just let my hands go? You know, and my power, it all transitions from baseball. Baseball is key. My hips, everything.
I was gonna say the hip turn and the explosion.
Hip turn, and I know it. It's just natural. You know,
Yeah.
I played for 21 years of my life. You know, so it's all that, and just hands. Yeah, I go in there, and now it was the guy Bobby Flynn I fought up at CES up in Massachusetts. He I had him worried before. I think I'm starting to get more people worried each time. You know, before a fight, because when I do hit you, I will hit you hard.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about. I mean, after the fight. Who was it? Mike Ferrante. He's like, man, you hit really, really hard. And I'm thinking in my head, no shit. You know, I know that. You know, I'm like, what did you think when you know? But Bobby Flynn said, he said, I hit as hard I hit hard enough to pierce the skin of an African rhino. Is what he said.
That's
kind of
legit.
that's kind of a cool compliment.
Yeah, but the problem was he said that on national television before we fought. So that's when I mentally knew. I was like, oh, I'm coming in hot.
Yeah.
I'm coming after you. You know what I mean? And
He tipped his cards a little bit there. didn't he?
and you could tell he was a little gun shy, and he's a great fighter. I mean, he fought Neiman Gracie. He was 6-2 when I fought him, 6-3. You know, so see a stand up. I mean, I will always be a stand up guy, because now I'm getting harder to hit, and I'm accurate. I'm very accurate. Okay, Pat Rivera gets on me all the time. Oh, you don't got the prettiest stand up, but in reality, I got fucking power. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care how pretty I am. If I hit you on your butt, and you're going night. So
would you say you've got what they call the God blessed power?
That's what he calls it. That's what Pat calls it. You just got God given power and athleticism, and great. If that's what I am, then
I saw this thing online from a BJJ coach overseas, and he was talking about how strength and power, you know, everybody's like, oh, well, you can get away with that because you're strong, or you can get away with that because you're athletic. His whole thing was that, you know, being versus being technical, and he was like, if you think about it, your strength, your power, those are techniques. Being technical is nothing more than the efficient execution of a particular technique in the best way possible. Now,
can you text that to me?
if your power can do that, that is a weapon, that is a technique, and you are being technical because you know how to use that power. And we've seen this time and time again. You have dudes that can bench 455, rep it, no problem.
Couldn't
But
punch
I'll
out.
punch harder than them at 5'6" and chubby.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But it's because I know how to rotate my hips and shoulders. I know how to apply that technique to create power. So if you have that strength to be able to actually move your body efficiently, to be able to, you know, tear somebody's face off, that's technical.
Micah's got 308 hands.
Bass drop hands.
No. Well, that's actually
the
cool
gun.
too.
He's referencing the gun.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I don't got that 223.
No,
556.
it ain't
I got that
223.
308.
That's right. Some of these guys, they
Sorry.
got the 22 millimeter.
They got the Red Ryder BB gun.
You clearly can tell who's not the gun guy in this room.
I like that bass drop reference though.
I did. I picked that one up too.
I thought he said 808. That's why I said
808,
bass
yeah.
drop. I was like, oh.
So let me ask you about your recovery, because I know that nowadays, man, you've got these cryo chambers
Yeah.
and
I do that. Oh,
you
yeah.
do
Cryo
that?
chamber cupping.
I'm shouting out, of course, Maryland Cryotherapy, located in Crofton. One of my biggest sponsors, biggest supporters. It's also tied in with Effective Integrated Healthcare, which is a chiropractic at core. One of my best friends, Dr. Anthony Hartnett. It literally, I'm telling you, I've never gone into a fight like feeling not sore or something wrong with me. Because, I mean, if you go in there, no, I feel great, you know. No, bro, well, you didn't train hard enough or you didn't do something right. You know, so me with my rib, that I heard it, so I literally separated my rib. I mean, I got a huge knot still a week before my fight. And I was like, not this fight, but a couple years back. And I was like, oh, my God, I couldn't breathe. Like, I couldn't walk. How am I going to, you know, fight? Well, he called. He's like, hey, come on in, you know, and I went in. He ended up, like, you know, getting it back in place, setting it. Natural. He gave me a natural painkiller shot, which it was, I think it was, what was it, like lidocaine?
Okay.
Yeah, it was lidocaine mixed with some other herbal stuff.
Okay.
And, you know, just like in case. You know,
I was gonna say re-slipping that rib back into place could not have been pleasant.
Oh no, I cried like a little baby. No, yeah. And I also don't do needles, guys. Yeah, I got tattoos, but I don't do needles very well. No, I'm a little wuss. But so he, just that alone, and that with the tape, like people think that tape, like the rock tape's like voodoo and stuff. Like, how does it work? There's science to it if you know how to apply it right, and it does work. Like every little thing that he's done for me, you know, has helped. And then the cryotherapy. So prior to my knee surgery, the inflammation was too much, so they were waiting on, you know, surgery. So I went there, and within a week, you know, it was down.
The inflammation was down.
Same with my hands. I couldn't get my hands surgical, you know, fixed until the inflammation. I mean, they look like. I just like.
So when you,
I don't know what to do with my hands right now.
so when you, if you're doing a cryotherapy and you're specifically targeting your hands, do you just?
It's called local. No, they actually
they localize it.
So they have a local cryo, and then they also have a cryo chamber, which I do both. I target any. I go in for the full body, and then I also do the local when something hurts. When, you know, I have pain and inflammation somewhere. The first time that you do it, your benefits you'll get is you'll get energized. You'll feel like you drank 12 cups of coffee, but your heart rate never ever elevates.
Wow.
You just feel,
you just feel that energy.
You're just like, holy, like what's going on? Like, I want to go run. I want to go for a run. You know, it's pretty wild. But as soon as your body adapts to it, and you do it about 3 to 4 times within a month, like say once to twice a week for 2 to 3 weeks, your body adapts, and you only have to maintain. You only literally have to go once to twice a month after that, no matter how hard you're training. And I'm a firm believer. I don't know if it's placebo effect, but I love it, and it works.
And you're big on chiropractic.
I'm
treatments.
I'm huge on chiropractic. Some people call them quacks, like I said earlier. I mean, no, they're amazing. He's a sports.
I love the videos, man.
Oh, yes.
ASMR videos of watching people just get like adjusted.
He had Cowboy. Yep.
That you just it's amazing.
Yeah, he had Cowboy come in. Jonathan Webb. Everybody came in. They did the cryotherapy there. He did a favor. Cowboy did a favor for me, there, and then they got adjusted. I haven't had migraines since then.
That's awesome.
I got Botox one time in the back of my face, you know, to help with.
I
call it Brotox. Yeah, so it's Brotox. Sorry, guys, but
nice.
You can call it whatever you want, man.
Yeah, I've done everything, and the biggest thing to maintain my body is because we are getting old. Everybody, I mean, that's one thing that, you know, time we never get back.
Yep.
Turmeric, and then my CBD. By CBD Daily, it's one of my new sponsors, and the product is unreal. Just with sleep, I get, you know, anxiety. I didn't know I had anxiety.
Yeah.
I had no idea I had anxiety until I started taking CBD, the oil, and then it started going. It's like, what? Why do I feel so different?
Yeah.
Like, it's cool. Like, not like no THC in that.
Yeah. How much sleep do you get?
Now?
Yes.
Now I used to never sleep.
Yeah.
I'm the worst light of
I can kind of tell that you were kind of like this, like 24 hours on the go kind of guy.
Go. Yeah, I could hear a mouse fart, and I'm up for like 2 days. Like, it's insane. It's wild. But ever since I started the CBD and they have a sleep, they separated that. And I got another nighttime remedy for that. But it helps. It's huge. I go as soon as I put my son to bed. I lay down and try to start to go to bed.
Okay.
Whether it's like 8:30 at night. I mean, and
that's hard to do, ain't it?
It's very hard. I've for 33 years of my life, I can't say 33. I mean, I was 33. Up until then, I didn't go to bed probably until like 1 or 2 o'clock every morning. And then I'd wake up at 3, go back to bed. Then I'd have to be up, you know, for work. And it was, sleep was not existent. The only time I could sleep is during the day. If I went home, I sat down on the couch for a second, I could instantly fall asleep then. But at night, I could never sleep. My mind's running. You should know as a coach, like, you know, you're constantly thinking. Like, my mind doesn't shut down, and I always want to be like one up, you know, when it comes to fighting. Like, but that takes it away. That
Yeah.
takes the edge off, and I'm a huge advocate.
It's funny because like people think that there are times everything has its place, right? And I get that, but like there are times when sleep is gonna be the thing that becomes your tool. That's the one up thing that you can have. If you've ever watched it on Joe Rogan's podcast, he had a world renowned sleep specialist on there.
The
The UK guy.
Yep.
And he was talking about, he was like, sleep is the most amazing legal PED that you can use. Because if you train, like say you were doing something repetitive one day and then you get 7 to 9 hours of sleep, the following day you are 30% more likely to do that technique successfully.
Really?
Just because from the sleep and your mind's ability to process the information that you were going throughout the day.
Yep, he's spot on. And there's this app on your phone, and I have it, and it's a heart rate. And I haven't used it in a while because I've actually been getting like good sleep, but I use it for my camps. It's called HRV Elite, and it's just basically it tracks your heart rate. So every morning you wake up, before you go to the bathroom, you strap your heart rate on, you sit there for 2 minutes, and it calculates. It tells you whether it's red, green, or yellow. Green day you can go 100%. Yellow day you don't train as much. Red day, whether you feel okay or not, you do not train.
Wow.
You have to, and that has. And as soon as I started to sleep more, I was having greens every single day, and I was like, this is wild. But sleep is imperative. It is key.
See, this just goes to show you guys, that's a professional fighter. That's a professional fighter. Like the level of how good, I guess, for lack of term, for how good you have to be between, being an amateur fighter, say, being a pro fighter, and then going up to the highest echelon of pro fighter.
Yeah.
You start tracking things like, is my heart rate telling me this is a green day, a yellow day, a red day? I mean, this is like the level of attention to detail that you have to be the top level pro fighter. Yeah. That being said, how's your diet?
That was going to be my next question.
So for this fight, actually, is good. I did link up with Rule 7. Simon, his food I really like. It's plain, simple.
They're a meal prep service?
Meal prep, yeah.
Okay.
Just based out of Baltimore now, and he does real well. That used to be one of my downfalls because I love sugar. I mean, it's like crack. It's literally
you're a sweet tooth guy.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea, and you have no idea how much I can eat. But diet now, it's biggest thing is up your water. I drink a ton of water, 1 to 2 gallons a day, and then I eat sensible now.
Okay.
And it's not like they don't say, oh, you can't eat bread, it's bad. That's old school thinking.
Yeah.
It's old school thinking.
Really?
And it's same with no breakfast and fasted. It's old school.
Fuel.
You eat for fuel, and like your body actually. It's funny if you don't eat breakfast, you like over a period of time, you put your body at risk for high cholesterol, blood pressure.
Are you serious? Because that's
stroke.
that's what I'm doing, man. Coach Paul told me, like, man, you looking good. Like, cause I was a real tubby boy not that long ago.
Yeah.
And I started jujitsu in earnest, like actually really training jujitsu, and then I was doing the Terry Crews thing where he goes. He doesn't eat until like noon.
That's depends if you're doing the fasted, intermittent fasting.
Exactly. That's what I'm doing.
I'm not saying it's not right. It's good for you for losing weight and stuff, but on your insides, you got to look at what you're doing to your body. So the new study comes out. Obviously, there'll be more research, about it, and I'll just keep reading about it. But what it does is like, so if you don't eat breakfast, right? Well, your body later in the day, you're like, oh crap, I didn't eat that much. Let me eat as much as I can right now. Well, you overeat then,
right?
And then you fill your body with certain foods, and then you're eating dinner, right? Like clean. Like after that, well, you're not giving your body time to produce and get all that fat, all that bad stuff out, and then you're sitting on it, and you're sitting on it all night. And then when you're trying to jumpstart your metabolism to flush it out, you're supposed to eat again.
Yeah.
Smaller meals and drink water, and that's how you metabolize. So,
okay, so tell me like what an average meal prep day looks like for you.
Wake up in the morning. Jamie will make me eggs, avocado. I love bacon and cheese. Sometimes I'll just have it on a sandwich, or she'll just make me an omelet, like a 3-egg omelet with a bunch of ham, bunch of fixings and stuff, spinach and all that. And then I have a protein shake, and then I go teach 9:30, 10:30, and I go eat lunch. I love sushi.
Okay.
I eat sushi 2 to 3 times a week.
Oh man.
And it's good
Damn,
fuel.
you really love sushi.
Oh, dude, I'm a creature of habit.
Okay.
So, and it's just simple. Like in my certain areas where my training is, I have my spots I go to.
Yeah,
so without interrupting my day, or I'll go to one of my sponsors, Tropical Smooth Cafe. They're
They're
amazing.
a sponsor of yours? I didn't even know that.
They're one of my sponsors. I didn't have them on this fight because their other company that they own, Cancun Cantina, they were sponsoring me and stuff like that. So it just picks. But when I go there, they hook me up pretty good and stuff. But good lunch, good solid lunch, depending on how hard I'm training, if it's gonna be heavy or not. And then after, just a good, nice, healthy meal. I eat clean, but at the same time, when I eat bad, but you can, The Rock, you can have one cheat day. Doesn't mean you have two.
Yeah.
One cheat day is good.
Yeah.
Because your body's going to work in overdrive.
You can't live every day like it's a cheat day.
Nah.
That's how you get
Yeah, because you want to flush all that out. Yeah, your body will work in overdrive to flush all the bad stuff out when you're used to eating healthier stuff.
I know you don't like needles, but do you get your blood taken, get that tested out?
Yeah, I almost pass out every time for blood work for fight. No, dude, you'll see me start pouring out. I'm like, is it out? Is it out? And it has nothing to do with pain. I don't care about pain. I don't like anything foreign that's in my body.
Inside of you, yes.
God didn't put it inside my body. I don't want it inside my body.
People are like, they look at me like I'm not afraid of needles, but I know exactly what you're
I just have
talking
that
about.
phobia, I guess. I don't know if it's a needle phobia. I just don't like objects I'm sitting there watching it wiggle around. I'm like, Joe, just get that out of my body.
It doesn't belong in there. But I'm a tattoo artist, so I say I stab people a zillion times
That
a
goes
minute.
in and out. See, I can take those. I'm like, okay, well, it's not in, then it's in, it's out, it's in and out. And they're real little, so it doesn't even
And
matter.
it's only 6 millimeters. That's all it is. It only goes to your subdermal layer.
Yep.
Needle, they're trying to find your vein and get into your blood system, and it's like a different thing. But I know, again, speaking of Joe Rogan talking about his podcast, I watched an episode where they were talking about how he gets his blood taken all the time, getting it tested to really see what kind of nutrients he needs and all that other good stuff.
Yeah,
I know a lot
to
of
see what
fighters-
his body chemistry is actually doing at that time.
because some people, like you said, bread's not a bad, like all these studies coming out. Now the studies are like, look, if it works for your body,
If
then
it works for you,
works.
it's compatible. Yeah, Jamie, my girlfriend, she sent her stuff out to find out, so her body was it was rejecting, at the time, so she's a Reebok sponsored athlete, so she's always concerned about her health and physical. And when she wasn't feeling great, she sent out certain grains was making her body react a certain way and making her hormone levels, or whether it's her skin reacting to something. So she did all that testing. Me, I didn't feel. I look in the mirror and I'm like, I'm fine. No, I'm just kidding. No, it didn't bother me, but certain things like the drinking, excessively and all that stuff, that would, just feel bloated. Even after my fight, that I didn't drink, I didn't touch a single alcohol for a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Months before that. So as soon as I did that, the night of I felt like I couldn't even squeeze my hands the next morning. I'm like, ow. I'm like, oh, it's just, it's just not a good feeling.
Yeah.
So.
Now, what's interesting is that, diets are always going to evolve with what people say is the latest thing. And, like you said,
They're fads. Some of them, a lot of them are fads.
Sure. And you were saying that whatever happens, whatever that case may be, you're going to read about the studies and see what works for you and whatnot.
Yep.
Because, we definitely are all old enough to remember watching Rocky drink 6 eggs.
Yep.
Out of a beer mug.
Salmonella is a real thing.
Yeah. So at one point they thought that was real cool, and that was how you got your protein.
They did it in Thailand like crazy.
Yeah. Dude, just a little olive oil, fry it, do something, boil it.
Why can't you just cook it? It doesn't take long. Just cook it over easy, maybe.
18 minutes to cook a boiled egg.
Yeah.
Y'all are haters, man, of the raw egg diet.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to get sick.
Yeah. If you've never had salmonella and you want to see what it's like, yeah, sure, drink
Go
6
for it.
eggs.
Yeah, especially we don't know where we're getting them from, the GMO in them. Unless they're farm
exactly.
fresh.
Whether they're from a farm, wherever, but yeah, go ahead and try it because.
So let me ask you, Micah, and we're getting close to the end here, man. So I want to ask you, going forward, you just fought Shogun. What do you have in front of you? I don't know how specific you can get. I know you're with Sucker Punch now, and they're working hard on your behalf. But what are you looking at doing here in the rest of the year, basically?
I'm trying to get 3 fights back to back to back. I'm looking, if something comes up in May, I'm going to take it. I'm staying ready. Like I said, I could take a fight on a week and a half notice just for my weight wise at least.
Okay. But nothing has been brought to you yet.
No, they're actively looking.
Okay.
Close, the closer it gets to Shogun. So I'm fighting July. I'm contracted out for July 13th at the MGM. Still working on an opponent. We have one, but we're kind of waiting to see how that goes out with how it plays out with him. But they're just they're working on. They're just trying to stay ready. And immediately after, following, I know they have a CES film coming in Philly. that they're interested. They want me on. That's like real close after. So basically, I'm looking to get to before October 17-7. So it's like, and then that's when that's my goal.
Okay.
Is before October. October will be the last Shogun. If that will be my last Shogun that I will fight. And that's just the goal.
Wait, like the last Shogun you'll fight?
Yeah, because I'll be either moving up or I'll know it's done and I'm focused on my gym.
Okay.
Shogun.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if the people at Shogun like that.
Does John know that? Are we breaking something, John?
John, you didn't hear that.
I mean, you're a big draw, bro, for Shogun.
Yeah, I am, and I mean it's just the time it's run its course. Like for me, I mean, selling tickets used to be like real fun, and it's not. I mean, it's not I can't do it. It's it's a headache, but it's also people got to realize how I can make $15,000 to $20,000 a fight is because I'm hustling tickets, I'm getting sponsors, and I'm getting a purse. So there's you got components to a fight. It's not just I show up. I fought for $650 and $650 one time, and I was like, never again am I going to do this.
Never again.
And then I found the hustle, and that's part of the seminar I alluded to earlier.
Can you talk about? I'm sorry. Can you talk about that because that's really there's a trend out there with our viewers who are amateur fighters. Some of them are pros looking to get a following because they realize that money talks and getting butts and seats is important.
It's huge. It's huge for more than one aspect. It's not only is it big for money in your pocket because you get percentage. The more you sell, the more you can dictate how high your percentage is. With me and John, I have certain marks and quotas that if I hit, I get either a bump up in sales or I'll get he'll give me a little bonus. So I'm always looking to shoot to hit that. And then the more people that follow you, the more you're going to get, more promoters are going to call you, the more opportune fights you're going to get. You'll be a high commodity, and that's what I kind of am. I'm getting reached out. It's just they're not working out dates wise with other stuff, and that's all we're working. I mean, I'm not saying no. So the more you can sell, the more you're going to be wanted by all over, especially up and down the East Coast, and you're going to make a name for yourself. And then next thing you know, your name brand's getting bigger. The biggest thing is it's your name brand. That's what I'm fighting for. I'll know when it's time to give it up, but I'm on a run, and I know mentally I'm not done. I'm nowhere near being done. And then, so that's what my goal is. So
I'm sorry, but what actions are you taking? Like from I don't want to say step by step, but step by step. What actions are you taking to get that?
To get the tickets, and how do I make it work?
How do you get that following?
Just so me, it just started with my family. I was wanting baseball, just athlete, growing up, especially in the local area. Just reaching out to small family friends, and Facebook is a huge way, to get across the board and stuff, just to let people know. They're like, oh, I didn't see you post anything, and that's the key. They're looking for posts, and just letting people know.
Post mentions
hashtags, mention them, just keep it in their ear, just stay active, you know what I mean? And stay active in the community as far as outgoing. What's helped me a lot is my class. And I run successfully. We have over 100 members in our gym, already in 3 months. So I'm doing something right. That's coming.
Yeah, you are. Absolutely.
So you got to think of it 100. If 50 of them can make it to the fight, the 100 can't. We have 50, but 50 is going to bring, at least 1 to 2 people. And then I get companies that are sponsoring me, then they're buying 30 tickets plus for their companies and stuff. Yep. So it's like a trickle effect. If you can get one good fight with a good following, well, then you have your clientele and list you can hit up. And it might not always work out that way. They come. But next thing you know, they'll send you, but a buddy of mine, him and his company want to sponsor you, and they'll go, Yeah. So it's
when you were first trying to get sponsorship, was that difficult? And what were some of the obstacles of getting people to throw down money, businesses to throw down money?
Giving them a set amount. What I realized is somebody had told me, just give them this piece of paper that has the blue, gold, and silver and all that. People don't want to be told what to do. I'll tell you that right now. Except in a gym atmosphere of working out, some people do want to be told. But as a company, I'll just tell people, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I'm just hey, whatever you guys are comfortable with, will help, and then I tell them, well, the main sponsor, I can say it's this amount, and they're like, oh, that's not too bad, and then, just all from there. It's when you go out there and you have also, don't go out with a paper, don't text them. If you text them to somebody you really close know, cool, then you can give them a call. People like face-to-face interactions. People like to see you. They like to, And
they want to talk to you.
Yeah, they want to talk to you, and you don't want to tell them, oh, okay, I want $1,000 for you to be on my shirt and banner. Well, no, they want to know what you can do for them. So I go immediately and I say, hey, look, your $1,000. It's not. I'm not looking for your $1,000, but I want to tell you how I can work for you. So, for instance, Effective Integrated Healthcare and the Maryland Cryotherapy, we have an ongoing thing. I mean, I send them clients every week. I mean, I sent 3 on Thursday alone. I sent 3 new women from my class.
Wow.
Whether they're getting B12 injection shots or they're getting worked on because they hurt themselves, so they just having some ailments. But it's I'm so good at my marketing and my just word of mouth. It's huge. Like my other one, Mission Escape Rooms. We have an event. He sponsored me for an amount, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to quadruple that in one night by us going there for our event. So I'm pretty sure I'll make you guys more money than you'll ever have to give me, and they like that. So then I'll just get a residual income from them.
This guy is a hustler, man.
That's what it is.
And I don't even mean, some people go, "Oh, hustler." It's not a bad thing, man.
Yeah.
Nah, I love it.
This guy is a guy who is he like you said,
He's a wheeler dealer.
a wheeler dealer. I remember that show. But like Micah, this is a thing that a lot of young fighters have no, and you said you obviously see that because you said that's part of your seminar, right? They have no idea. They can fight, they can train, but they can't get people to follow them, and it's like, wow, you're never going to get anywhere without that.
And then you're a waste of talent. Then you're like, well, why I never got a shot? Why didn't I get this? Well, because you got to get out there. It's it's about the management game too. You have to have the right management, and at the same time, not every fighter needs a manager. They don't. At the local level, regional level, in reality, you really don't need a manager. Nothing you can't do yourself that a manager can do for you. You know what I mean? You can do it all yourself, and that's what you got to learn. And then, obviously, at the bigger levels, the higher levels, you're going to need somebody that knows somebody, and then you get your foot in the door, and that's how it works, But, I mean, people just got to realize, if you want to just go fight, just to fight, cool, do it. But, I told you I made one time that I only made $1,200.
Right.
Oh, excuse me. And then I was just never again. So, I just learned it, hustled it. I like talking. I like going out and meeting people. I'm a people person. So, if I can, reach as many people as I possibly can and then talk to them and then help them, then, I fulfill my purpose on this earth.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, we come to the end, and this is where basically you can say your piece. I'd love to get your plugs if you got plugs. I know you got plugs.
Oh, I got tons of plugs. No, one, obviously, thank you for having me on here.
Of course.
It was a blast. I definitely, once I get a little bigger, let's
Been
do it again.
Been waiting for it for a while.
Oh, man, I appreciate it, the hospitality. Obviously, thank you guys. Thank my sponsors, Maryland Cryotherapy, Effective Integrated Healthcare, Mission Escapes, First Down Funding, which is an older one, but then First Washington Mortgage. Just everybody that's helped me out, Adam, Rachel, everybody that I know personally, thank you. I wouldn't be where I'm at today. My girlfriend Jamie, and my son Grayson, that is my being. That is my purpose, and that is my, if I can make him, if I can teach through him, not to make the same mistakes I have, then I'm doing well. So thank God for everything He's given me, and and my teammates and everybody that's believing the hot box. We're growing, our family's growing, and I'll see you guys this week.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I'm telling you, this I'm so happy that we got a chance to sit down here with Micah. Coach and I have been we're blessed, obviously, to have you here.
Yeah,
he took the long drive up from Annapolis down here.
That is not an easy drive.
That is not an easy drive, and we are appreciative. I'm really excited to see this episode and out on YouTube. Obviously, we're going to blast it on Facebook and Insta and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. People are going to be watching this. You dropped just so many jewels in this. I just can't wait to go back and rewatch this thing and just find all the jewels dropped. Micah is somebody that you guys want to follow. Absolutely represents the fight game. Represents Maryland. God, thank God we've got some fighters like this out of Maryland, the DMV area.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to watch where he goes from here. It's only, like I said, it's only up from here, just from his attitude, from his business that he's been working really hard on, and of course his team and everything. And I'm just excited. I'm really excited to see this. You guys stay tuned. Like I said, the video is going to be out. You're going to be able to watch it, and I want you guys to go ahead and where can they find you on Facebook and Instagram and all those other places?
Facebook, you guys can find me at Micah Terrill. Instagram, I have 2, but one that's active is SeeMe2024. Remember, if you guys got a problem, come see me. And then where else? Just all over the Hotbox page. Just click it; it'll come right up. And
So when we look up Hotbox on Facebook or Insta, does it have to be Hotbox Boxing Fitness?
No, it should come up. I'm starting to get a lot of clicks, so it's starting to come. And I actually have my first one for my first legal battle so far. Which
Are you serious?
Yeah. There's other hot boxes.
There's one, but they trademarked. They're out of Tennessee. They're not in the same business as me. It's like a fitness place, but they're not, and it's just one word, Hotbox. I'm the Hotbox Boxing and Fitness. So, you know, and I'm not taking clients from them, but if they were around, I probably would.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I
No,
mean,
he's
my
not.
pro-
No, he's
no,
not.
I'm not. It's just, no, it's just, you know,
See me.
the product is, I mean, you know, I'm not in the business of taking, you know, anybody. I mean, but people can go where they want, and they're going to go where what they like and what's better.
Right.
And if you have a better product, I mean, what's worse or what's not better than a friendly competition?
Right.
You got Wawa and Rofo. You know, they open up right next to each other.
Yeah.
Right.
Royal Farms now is brand new.
Yes.
And then Wawa over there where I live is redoing to look kind of like Rofo. And
Oh
it's
my
wild.
God.
It's a wild competition. Hey, but look, hats off to them. They're trying to make each other better. And then that's what this world. If you can make someone better and then, you know, achieve their greatness, then, you know, you're doing well as well.
That's right. So, guys, for more, if you enjoyed this episode and the episodes that we've had done and what we're planning on doing right now, I'm working my ass off right now, getting basically new guests on. We've got Chad LeBrun coming on next week, and that should be very interesting.
From the lab.
That's right, from the lab. So
All
he's
right.
going to come down here and he's going to take not the long drive like Micah did, but he's going to take the drive out here, and that's for you guys. So definitely consider becoming definitely be a watcher. Definitely follow. If you see this video, share it. And then you can find us on patreon.com/Fight Game Podcast. But again, we're on YouTube. That's going to be our main home. So if you guys could be there, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and all the other stuff you need to do. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Micah.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure, a blessing, and I enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
absolutely enjoyed it, guys.
Good.
Right on. Thank you, Crew Paul.
Sweaty cop.
Actually, let me go back to Crew Paul. Crew Paul.
Sweaty cop. Thank
And
you guys.
And you guys have a great rest of your evening. Peace out.